up here in the other on the other side of the map, what I have done is gone through and done the tedious work of setting up all the different colors and names for all the different lines that we've got going on here. I've also ensured that all of the different vehicles here are the correct color for the line. I've done this for all the oil and fuel and crude oil lines that we've got going on. It would be quite a fair bit to do all of the lines in the map so far. I've also added some extra trains onto the connection line, which I'll show you in a minute. I've just remembered that I did this incorrectly, so this would be fuel glossop. So I'll go ahead and change that now. It's one of the few lines that are both picking up fuel and also delivering fuel for Glossop itself. So I must have called that a line by accident. But anyway, so as we can see here, the connection hub, I've decided to go with the yellow color because I feel like it stands out compared to the other lines. It makes it easy to know what this train is, and especially where we know it's a fuel or a liquid container. We know that that's going to be the interconnection line. What did I call it? The oils hub connect line 1, just in case we decide to create another fuel connection hub, which I doubt. So yeah, last episode we connected up all these crude oil areas. We still have the boat line going backwards and forwards here, so this line doesn't actually seem to be getting too much fuel, but it will in time. So that's the crucial point here, is that there we go. It's got some. It's not going to get the main bulk of it because the main bulk of it's gone to the boat line, which is fine for now. We want it that way. So you know, in time, it will move over to the rail line and all connect into the hub, into the hub that's down here. Sorry, I'm just double checking that the stream is live because we've had this go before, and that was quite infuriating. So I'm just double checking that. Yeah, it seems to be working fine. Fantastic, cool. So one other thing that I did here was I added some more trains onto this line. I added another 10 onto the connect line because, I mean, we've got a hell of a lot of different things here. We've got fuel, oil, and crude oil all waiting to go to the other hub all the way down here. So it's pretty vital that we keep those moving, and where it's quite a busy line connecting the two hubs, it's probably going to need quite a few more trains. If anything, it may even need more than we've already put on. So I'm keeping an eye on that, and if it needs more, I will be adding more in time. So down here we've got the other 3 lines that are free. So we've got room to grow if we need to, but then again, for oil, I don't believe there is going to be much room to grow down here. If anything, it might come up to connect these up. I didn't even realize there was another one here. Yeah, so we're going to have to connect these up somehow with time, which will probably come down this way and connect in down here, because how many... So we have this line for the deliveries, and then these other lines for... So we've got one spare, which can go to the oil refinery here, and then these other two can hook into those delivery networks, which should work fine. I might even be able to work in a pass-through here to go underneath that bridge and connect up to this line, which then we connect down to these later on. For now, I want to focus on the oil refineries and things up here, because these are some of the final ones to get connected up. It's just a matter of time before we've finally gotten all of these connected to the hubs, to the rail hubs. So without further ado, I'm going to start connecting those up. I'm just thinking carefully here about what I want to do. So we've got an oil and a fuel refinery here. We've also got two crude oil wells, that's the word I was looking for. We've also got an oil refinery down here. This one's going to be a little bit trickier because it's actually set up with the boat line. I don't necessarily want to tamper with it too much just yet, but I would imagine that would come up and come across and then go down to where it needs to go. So with these, let's see here. It'd probably be easiest to use this line, come off from here, and have a connection for each. Just going to remove some of these to make it a little bit prettier. Sorry if you're wearing headphones, the bulldoze noise is just so much louder than everything else, automatically. How does the lay of the land seem with height? So over here, it's a little bit lower down. And we've got the connection routes through here. So maybe we could do a line off this side and they connect into these pass-through lines or pass-through tracks, and then they come down. That way they'll be able to pass through here, get back on this line, and not affect the main public transport line here. I think that might work. The painful thing about putting so much track in that's this standard track is that eventually I'm going to have to upgrade them all to high-speed rail, and that's going to be very tedious and boring to do. So I might even just do that off camera or off stream, or maybe there's a mod or something that will allow it to do it very easily. The only problem then is we run the risk of not having the achievements, which, to be fair, I'm not overly bothered about too much. Let's just take these back and see. So I'm guessing that this is going to be far too long of a connection. Oh no, actually it works quite well. How far back can we push it then? actually that was pretty much as far back as it was going to go. So there we go, that's in. We'll put some double slip switches here to allow the lines to interconnect and use both. I don't know whether I should put double slips on those, because that would technically be to go the wrong way. So I might not do that. And we just need to put in the stops. There we go. So that junction's all set up. Now down the ways, we're going to need to have two hubs, or two ports, or what are these called? Stations even. My words, they're failing me today. They do that most days, to be fair. So if we put one in here, and we're probably going to want this to be a 2-line, because we'll have a delivery and a... Oh, hang on, will we? How have we done it on the other ones? That's not an oil. This is an oil. So we've just done it as one connection, and they're picking up and dropping off. Okay, we can do that. My thinking was we'd have one delivering oil, one line delivering oil, and one crude oil even. One line delivering crude oil and one line delivering or picking up oil. And if you've got a train waiting to pick up oil, then obviously you're not going to be able to deliver crude oil. So if you have two stops on the track, on the station even, then you can deliver crude oil over and over and over again while you're waiting to pick up the crude oil, or the oil when it's turned the crude oil into oil. Oh, I'm really looking forward to not working with oil so much and having different words for things like ore, coal, and steel, rather than oil, crude oil, and fuel. It's just so confusing. So it probably actually isn't, but when you're streaming and what have you, sometimes it's easy to just flub a line and accidentally say something that you didn't mean, and it's a little bit frustrating when that happens. But anyway. Right, so we're going to put in a line like this, and it's actually done a little tunnel underneath, so we're just going to make sure that that lines up properly. And then we're going to make sure that this is connected correctly. That is. So we want it to snap to the other spline of the track. And then on this side, we're going to want to connect these in. As we've already got quite a bit of off run here, maybe we do it a little bit further back. Now I'm going to take this as far as possible so that it's the fastest speed connection between the two tracks. Just like that. And then we're simply going to want to connect this into the right-hand line. And then we're going to split off from here. And connect in. I'm not going to just connect it in straight away, because sometimes then the two lines intersect further along the way. Whereas if you snap it to the line that's already there, then it basically mimics it going the other way. So it just works a little bit better. Right, so we're going to want a line there, stop there even, stops here, and then we've got stops here, and then we can set up these lines to deliver and take oil or crude or fuel respectively. It's quite crazy because actually it doesn't have to go too far as the crow flies. It's just coming across here, but because we don't have a direct line, it's got to go all the way round, and it means that because you make money off of how much the what distance the crow flies, it might not make money here. So we want to deliver crude oil and pick up oil, and then on the other side we want to pick up crude oil and deliver oil. And this line, we'll just name it now. And then if we go into the manage, we'll be able to see what line this is. If I turn off that even, hang on. Oh, it's not bringing it up, that's annoying. Here we are, line 14. We're getting quite a few of them now. And I will be changing that color to the oil color. And let's go ahead and put a train on the line. So we want this to be the oil color. Let's just pick the locomotive first, the A35. The cargo will be the tank car, and we'll just take it until there is mediocre. So we'll keep it good. Because the length of the line, I think I'll put 2 trains on there. I think it's number 14 that we did. I hope it's number 14 that we did. Otherwise, I've just... yeah, it was number 14 that we did. Cool. Otherwise, I would have put the trains on the wrong line. But hey ho, we can change that. So now we need to do the other line. Delivering fuel in. And it's going to be delivering oil here and taking fuel. And then on the other end, we want it to be picking up oil and delivering fuel. I think we only have a few of these, so let's just double check that. Yeah, we have 5 of them so far. Let's make that the correct color. And then it just needs the train. Take it down to mediocre. So keep it on good. Again, because of the length of the track, I think I'll put 2 on. And then those will work through. It might take a a few minutes for them to get to where they need to go, but eventually they'll be taking fuel and taking it to where it needs to go. Now, what I want to do, because crude, I've gone over this before, but because oil is a 2-to-1 ratio, the deliveries of crude oil on the rail will not be enough to fill up the trains going back, and I want to make sure that they are. So what I'll be doing is setting up a road line to deliver crude oil here. So I'll just put some roads around this. In fact, we could have this connect up over here. That doesn't look very nice. Neither does that. Okay, I think what we're going to need to do is come out as a straight line here. And then come out as a straight line here and connect in, and bada bing bada boom. There we go. Very nice. We're going to want a similar thing here, although it goes into the water. Okay. Do a bit more of a sharp bend there and then connect it in there. And what I'll do is I'll put stops here so that they never block the road, but they can stop and then go, so they can get up to there. Now, of course, we will be connecting these to our rail hubs, but for now, I'm going to be setting up the road connection, and what I'm just going to do is do one line between all three of these. So picking up crude oil from here, bringing it down and delivering it, and then heading over to here, picking up more crude oil, bringing it down and delivering it here. So the only time that these vehicles are going to be empty is, in fact, we could even set up the same line to deliver oil from here to the fuel point, but that would kind of be pointless because we've got the train line or the rail line bringing in a full train of oil, which will then change at a 1-to-1 ratio. So by rights, if, let's say, for argument's sake, a train brings in 100 oil, it should be then able to wait here at the station for, say, a couple of minutes while the refinery then turns that 100 oil into 100 fuel. As I've said, the same thing wouldn't happen here because it's a 2 crude oil to 1 oil conversion rate. So if we did deliver oil from here to the fuel refinery, unless we then had a further road or other line taking fuel from here to somewhere else, that excess fuel wouldn't actually go anywhere. It wouldn't be used on the trains, and it would eventually fill up the station and overflow it, because we'll effectively just be delivering so much oil here even that we can't take it anywhere. So I won't do that. I won't have a let's just find this, hang on, get this going. We won't have oil delivered here because even though it's a nice little connection, it's not going to be that worthwhile in the long term, and I don't want to do that. try and do a nice, that's not going to work. Let's try and do a nice line there and a nice line up to it, like that. And that works quite well. Right, so you can see here that the line actually goes back on itself. So all we need to do is change that, and that should no longer happen. Hey presto, just change the stop that it's going to. So we want this to fill up. And all I'm going to do here is tell it where to load and unload. It already knows pretty much where it needs to unload because it can't pick up from these places. So we want this to be this is our cargo road crude oil line. And how many other ones do we have? We've got quite a few road crude oil lines. This will be number 14. It's almost the right color, but not quite. There we go. Now all we have to do is put some road. Ooh, how's that going to connect over? We need to put some road vehicles on, but I'm just trying to check how they'll connect. I guess we'll need them to come around here. I know there's a hill here, so I don't want to cut through it. Because it's not going to be aligned, this road, I want to reduce how much the terrain gets deformed. And what I mean by that is, as you can see here, we've had to build up to make the road as flat as possible between these 2 points. So if I go a little bit further back, it's going into the dip rather than against it. One other thing that I can do here is press N or M to increase or decrease the height of the road, and that works quite well actually there. So we'll do that, and then we'll connect it in there. I'll put stops here for the sake of it. Whoops. Just made a stop the wrong way around. There we go. Right, and now when we put vehicles on this line, they can make their way over. So how many do we want? I'm going to say about 20 should be good as a start. That should be enough to get enough crude oil over into that refinery. Let's just paint them the right color and put them on this line. And then they should be making their way over. They'll probably take about 5 or 10 minutes to get over there. In the meantime, we've got our trains coming over here. Where have they gotten to? There. It's a bit annoying because they're actually going to be empty for the first way over, but that's just part of the parcel. They'll just, in the finances, have a few years of red, and then eventually get to, when they're making money, bringing goods over and taking them back. So that's those 2 refineries set up. We've got these crude oil lines connected into them, but we also need to set them up so that they take oil, crude oil back to the hub. I think up here is going to be this direction connecting into this line or this track, and then for this one I'm torn between going that way or coming down this way. If we come down this way, we will need to set up a pass-through for this station. Excuse me, sorry. And that won't be too hard to do. Or we could even just do a further line off of this track and do a sort of pass-through. That might work quite well because it will reduce the overall amount of track that a train has to go to get over to here. So actually I quite like the idea of that. I think I will do that. So what I'm going to do is connect these here. We're going to just mimic this track here. And then we're going to come in and try and get them as close as possible. For some reason it's not doing it from there, so we'll take it a little bit closer. And I don't think it's going to do it all the way across. So I might have to do it, say, from here. Like so. Now, what do I do with this? Because if I put a stop here, then they could effectively block this route out. So I don't really want, sorry, that noises all these cars going onto that other line. I don't really want to do that. I guess then again, having this one here could mean a train comes down, and if it's long enough, it'll block trains going that way. So I'll have to remove this one and just have it running off of these two and these two over here, I think. So we'll do that. We'll connect up this line here. There we go. And then that's about the right trajectory to get over to here, so I'll keep that as it is. Put in this station over here. And what I'll do is I'll also just put a road next to here. Just so it looks a little bit nicer. Put in a nice little curve here. It should automatically put in the right sort of curve, and there we go, that looks alright. I'm going to pause it for a second because I'm going to need to remove this bit of the road. Put in this line here. Again, we don't want the road to influence the track. So we'll connect that up there. And it's saying it's too much slope. That would be because of this bit here. So if we press M twice, it will connect up correctly. But then we can see we've got quite a bit of a slope here that is that should be fine. That should be fine. So this will be our pass-through line. I'll connect connect it up to that other line that we put in, the track even. So connect them all up. And then what I do want to do is put in a line from this side, something like this. And let's extend it as far as it'll go so it'll be nice and fast. And then we'll do the same on this side, and this is the right-hand rail. Something like that. And then what I'll do is I'll delete this back so it doesn't go straight. And that way we connect it straight into that connection. So we have to pull out from the split in the rail. And it's saying that it's not currently possible, probably because it's gone down. That's fine. We'll connect this in up here. And then maybe it needs to be heightened or lowered. What does it need? It's not going to do it. Okay, yeah, that's not going to work. Never mind. So what we'll do is we'll just pull out from here and make it go flat, so the arrow helps indicate whether the track is flat or going downwards or going upwards. That's flat as we want it. We'll have the second line come out like so. And then on, where did I put it? Here? Yeah. Do the same from here. If autosave allows us. Good old autosave. And that's already flat, I think. Yeah, that's flat. I think that should be about fine there. We'll do the second line coming out here. And then we'll just connect these up. Should be quite a satisfying curve because it's over quite a distance. Yeah, those are all 75 mile an hour speeds, so hopefully that'll be top speed when we convert these tracks. It will be the top speed it possibly can be, which I think on high speed track, oh goodness, I don't actually know. I think it's probably about 300 mile an hour, but I don't actually know for sure, because I know that a lot of trains sort of get up to about 100 and something. We'll just put in the stops for these. I think is it the I'm probably going to murder it for anyone who actually knows the train that I'm on about, the Shimenka or something, the Japanese train, bullet train. For those who I mean, I don't actually know the name. I know that it is an SH something. It's the Shimenka or something like that. The Shamu, I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. So I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but you know, like I just don't know it off the top of my head. So we'll just make this go into a nice tunnel, so it goes underneath there. And it doesn't affect the lines, and that way, I mean, we don't have any lines that currently use it, but if we do need anything to go from this side to this side, it means that it doesn't have to go down through where this this passenger terminal is for the ferry. So that's quite cool. The ferry still not making money, but I mean the train line seems to be quite busy there. It's got some passengers, not many, but some. But hey ho. So this ultimately, I mean, even though we had to pass through this way, we've now got another one this way, which actually, now I've just realised I've already done that one, is kind of pointless. But hey ho, the train can go either way round, and maybe in future, if we have a lot of trains going or a lot of lines going through this top route, we can choose to put them down here with a marker, and that will alleviate some of the traffic on the other way. Right, so put in that station. Excuse me, sorry. Let's just put in the other station nice and quick. So I'm going to do a road around here, like so. Coming up and then coming across. I'm not going to do the entire thing. If anything, I would probably want it to connect into here. Okay, I am going to do the entire thing just for the looks of it. There we go. It's all connected up. Right, final station on this side. So I mean, I could make it justify against that. So if I did something like this with the shift button down, I can make it almost flat against this road. But then I don't know whether that will really... Is this where the... Actually, that's perfect. That's perfect because we've already got a connection there. So I'll put this down here, like so. And we'll have this connection be the split off. So what I am going to need to do is redo this because at the moment it's not passing through. Let's just delete this back a little bit. I'm sorry, train. I know you're there. Oops. Oh, bugger. Okay, whatever. We'll need to remove the stops as well, just in case they block the build. That looks fine. Right. So these will go here. Oh, there's another stop. So we want to build that line in like so. Hopefully we can do double slip. Yes, we can. Cool. That actually works really well. Have that one be a double slip, and then down here we'll just split off, do a nice short split off because there isn't much space here. And that way, if we put more trains on that line, we can have them wait accordingly. Do something like that. And then, okay, one of our lines actually prefers to go through here. Which one is that? That would be the Rowley Regis. So if I just put in the marker here, and then take the Rowley Regis. So it'd be on its way back that it does it. We need to put in a stop here. These are always a pain to click on there. There we go. And then they will use the pass-through. That's jolly good. Cool. Okay. Now we just need to do the lines. In fact, what I'll do here, just to complete the look, is to put in these connections and put a road down the side of it. And then, like before, put in a little line, put in a road even that's squiggly road. I'm wondering whether I could connect these up. It Might be better on this side, really. It's an awful lot of train lines to go across, and it would probably be better if we could do a little bridge over. Although where this isn't currently being used, it should be fine just to do a line across and just use level crossings. So we'll do that, and then we'll connect this up to here. And then what we'll do is we'll delete that back to there. And what's going on here? It looks like that's quite a nice point for a bridge, actually. Sort of a natural point for a bridge because it's already above bridge pillar collision. Okay, let's go for a higher spot. Something like there to there. Press M. No, because these pillars are quite thick. I don't think it's going to work. No. Okay, what if we take it from further back? Last try. There we go. So we'll do it like that, I think. I'll connect those in like so. I don't want that to happen, but then again, I don't want that to happen, so I'm happy with that. We'll have this connect into here. We don't want that to be not sort of an S, so that will work, and then that connection's there. We can eventually connect it up down there if we wanted to. In fact, why don't we just go ahead and do that? I know these connections aren't really going to be used, but it just makes it look a little bit nicer with the roads coming across like so. There we go. Nice. Cool. Right, have we put these lines in? We have not, so we're going to need to put these lines into the stations. So this comes down to here, and it'll go to, oh, what stop is that? That is number 2, like so. It's not quite the right color, so we'll change the color, and I'll just go and grab the other one first before we rename them, because these are both doing the same thing, so we can use the same name. I'll just copy and paste them, and that'll be nice and quick. Pop that one in there. That needs to go into number 2. It's also not quite the right color. It's just not the right shade of purple. Right, where are those lines? Here. So what does this one go up to? We want to turn that off. And it goes up to number 12, actually. Which is the one that we clicked on. That doesn't happen that often. So we'll rename this. In fact, I could probably just take this one. Now they have the right names, the right colors. We're going to put the right trains on. It's all going to be right. All right. Right. There we go. Take this till about there. So that's good. I'll buy 2 of those actually. And I want one to go on to number 13 and one to go on to number 14. And there we go. They'll work their way through. In fact, I haven't done the line choices. So up here, you're going to be wanting to wait around and fill up on crude, and then you want to be dropping off. And likewise over here, you're going to be waiting around, filling up on crude, and dropping off crude. Cool, that's all set up. So let's just let them play out. We've got our first sort of train coming over to this section. It's going to be waiting around for a little while, but I don't know whether that'll be enough time for these road vehicles to bring back some crude oil for them to be taking away crude oil with them, or taking away oil even with them. So I might just send them on their way from here, so that they bring back some crude oil next time. Let's just leave it and see how it does. I think maybe we need to put some more stops in here so that the trains don't have to wait. Like so. And then likewise down here. Looks like we've got stops there for the junctions. That work fine. That's quite a horrible bend, but that is what it is. I don't think I could improve that when I tried, so never mind. And it's just delivering machinery. Is that the right colour? Oh. It's not the same colour. Maybe I should make these... I don't know, I quite like the dark blue, so I think I'll change it to dark blue. There we go. I can't remember whether I've painted these vehicles yet. Nope. Okay. There we go, make it more blue. In fact, this could probably do with a few more. There we go. Get some more on that line. Because that's slowly filling up. And we've got another train on its way with stuff here. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, cool. Where's the vehicles for this line? They're slowly making their way around. I'm gonna quickly be right back. I'll be 2 minutes. In the meantime, let's watch this vehicle go around. everyone, I'm back, and oh, looks like these guys got stuck for a minute, but now they're moving. Let's see here. Yeah, they're starting to take away crude oil, which is good. I don't know why it's not filling up. I guess it's just slowly ramping up shipment and production and what have you. But we've already got one truck on its way back, and we got the train here. I think that's probably not going to be able to wait long enough to pick stuff up, but never mind. What about this one? Yeah, 17. Send it back. What we could potentially do is set up a road line from here up to Botsford, but currently I think we're fulfilling the need with the rail line. Oh, only 10%. So maybe we need more. This one only has 30. It's on its way. Why do you only have 30? Why haven't you picked up more? Interesting. The interconnect is still as busy as ever. Maybe it needs another 10 on there. Let's see here. Add another 10 vehicles on there. No problem. What's happened? Oh, it's just waiting to... Oh, okay. So if we put a train stop there, and then maybe another one along... Right, so where would this be? It would be... Can't quite put it where it needs to go because of the train line in. Never mind. So that was about there. So put one there, and then hopefully that'll be enough for 2 trains to wait. And pull through all these other trains. I just haven't put stops, have I? What I'll do is I'll do 2 either side of the bridge there, and see how that goes. So where's this one going? Going up to there. Okay. I guess we just have too many trains for the amount of stops there are, so we need to put in more stops for them to be able to move freely. That should help. This is still overflowing. It's overloaded. So we need more trains. But actually putting in some extra stops here might help because there's so many trains on this line. How many are there? 40. If they don't keep moving through, will eventually cause a traffic jam somewhere else. Here's the traffic jam I was talking about. It's just trains waiting to move into the section of track that's free. Which they cannot currently do because they're waiting on the other trains. We want to try and keep these trains moving, so just adding more stops here should help. This one needs another stop here because the incline on the bridge slows them down. So if you put more stops where the incline goes up, then it should hopefully allow them to keep moving and keep up their speed, because it takes them a while to get up to speed. This one's at 50. So 50 is the max. Going up a hill, it looks like 24's pretty much the peak that it'll do, and then it will speed up. So that difference between 50, a train going along on a flat, and 25 going up a hill, means that you've got trains speeding up to catch up with the ones that are waiting, that are trying to get over the rise. So putting in more stops just means that they'll have a lot more leeway going through. It looks like we've got quite a few trains waiting here. Why is that? We've got them waiting down here as well. Okay, so the yellow line. There's no stops here, that might be why. The yellow line uses a separate line to this other fuel line, so we can put in more stops and hopefully improve the movement between them. Frame rate's suffering a little bit, probably all this that's going on over here is causing that. So we've put more stops, more places for the trains to get to without having to worry about hitting another train, then that should improve the amount of movement. That is, up until autosave strikes you. There we go. Sorry, I'm just eating my lunch. So if we put stops between the current stops, about halfway between them, then that should increase the amount of or decrease the amount of waiting that trains have to do. and increase the throughput. Then what happens here? Okay, so the yellow line goes up and diverts there, which means that there's quite a few lines on this rail actually. So again, putting in plenty of stops here where we've got, well, how many are here? We've got 3 lines here. Now, granted that doesn't sound like much, but remember one of them has 40 trains on it, which can clog it up quite quickly. There we go. Keep it moving. And ultimately what we're trying to do is stop the amount of times a train has to stop and speed back up, because it's that acceleration, that initial hit of acceleration that costs us going forward. This one's going to have to stop, but now it can keep going. There we go. So it didn't have to go down to 0, which is the main thing. We can put a stop in there, which is fine because I don't actually think any trains are going across here, but even if they were, coming this way, they're not going to block any other trains, any other lines, so that's fine. We'll put in some extra stops here so that trains can come and wait for picking up fuel. I don't know how many trains are on this line actually. Yeah, there's like 5, so we don't want them to get here and then if there was no extra stops here, they'd be waiting here and just pushing it back. Whereas because we've now got 1, 2, 3 stops here, we can have trains waiting closer to the station, so closer to their destination. I don't know whether any lines are actually using this, so no they're not, so it doesn't actually matter too much here. It's more just a case of, because we've got all these trains coming onto this line, they're slowly pulling through. And what I don't want to see is this, where trains are stopped waiting for a free path, but it might just be that they have to wait for these to work their way through, because we've got quite a few stops here. They should eventually be able to work their way through. They're not stopping back here, which is good. And then on this side up here, they're going to need some extra stops, I would imagine, for queuing up, like I just said on the previous bit, but I don't know where those stops would need to go in, so let's wait for this train. What I'll do is I'll just stop this one, and that way this train will have to wait. This will allow us to use the space most efficiently. So we know that this is where the back of the train comes up, so we'll put a stop here, and that will mean that in the, well, I mean we put a stop here, but within that gap, if you have maybe 4 or 5 of those, it might add up to 1 extra train It makes a difference when you got 40 trains working on this same line. Trust me. So he's taking all crude oil because there's so much crude oil there. Got another train coming along. So maybe we could even just stop this one for a second and have him come along. Let's just speed the trains up a bit. So he should go up to the back of where this other train would wait, and then we'll be able to put in. He has stopped there. Put in another stop. Let's start that one up again. And that should more or less be what we need there, because the further along they can go on the line means that the less waiting they're doing back here and holding up the other trains. I'm just going a bit crazy with all these stops, to be fair, just because we've got so many different lines here. We don't want them waiting. Seems like a lot of these trains have moved across to here now. I'd like to think they're eventually going to work their way through. Maybe we need to stop here. Let's just go ahead and double up the amount of stops around here so that there aren't any areas where they are waiting for quite a while, because we don't want that like here. So this guy has come across. They can safely go up to about there. Let's just keep adding stops along the way, and hopefully it will eventually work through that the trains don't have to wait quite as long. If the stations are the slow point, then I can live with that, because ultimately they shouldn't be waiting along their way to get to where they need to go. Let's just see where this stops. There. So we'll need to put in a stop here, and then that will allow another train to come across. And it's annoying that there isn't a measuring tool or something to allow you to know where to put your stops based on how long your trains are, but That's just the way the game is, unfortunately. It's one thing that's missing. Maybe in Transport Fever 3 or something, I don't know. What I'm going to do is just stop that train there so that we can put more efficient stops in. Actually, it looks like the going up a hill is slowing things down a fair bit. As we expect. So I'll put some more stops in to keep them moving. All their way up. I think that's about the apex of the hill. We're going to have a lot of these wait, and if we don't keep these moving, so I'll make this one go again. It's just in time because this one's leaving. Maybe it will be able to keep going. Just about. There we go. But we do have quite a lot of these waiting, which just comes part of the parcel, unfortunately. Where we've got so many trains on this line, I almost want to... Oh, that's pretty close, actually. I want to have one at each train's length, I think. Where it's going up the hill. Almost have it 2, because it has to slow down to such a rate that the others are able to catch them up. I'm really hoping that all these improvements to the tracks and the lines between them should mean that the amount of time that these are waiting goes down, which will mean that the finance goes up. It's just a matter of time for those to work through. We've just got so many trains waiting at the moment, and that means that money hurts. think this is the bottlenecks are the either side waiting for the station. Potentially splitting these out so this is just a separate line could also be a way to speed this up a bit, because then it's one less thing for this to worry about, and the crude oil coming from this one doesn't have to wait for the yellow line. However, I mean, we've got one here. How many trains are on this line? 2. I don't think it's necessarily going to be impacting it too much. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much delivering all that it can at the moment with those 2 lines, 2 trains even. So this is a bottleneck as well. It seems like it's just because it's got to wait for this distance. So if we work out the distance that it needs to be, like there, we could improve this a little bit by putting this a little bit further back. So let's see how that does. It's all about identifying where the bottlenecks are and reducing them as much as possible. We've got some of these still adding on, which means they're probably going to be, yeah, all the way back. But they'll eventually work their way into the line, into the system, and work their way through. I think this tunnel is starting to actually clear up because we've got so many stops between it that trains can just roll through. This is going to be another bottleneck, but the trains haven't quite gotten there yet. So they're just picking up and going faster than the other trains can catch up, it seems. So we've got one train coming back. This one's already leaving. That's pretty ideal how we've got that running. Although, once this backlog starts to work its way through, which it will do eventually, and we've got these running as efficiently as possible. It's just got to slowly move its way along every single time that a train leaves. So it's a shame that we can't make this a little bit more efficient. Potentially having a through train, so having the trains get here and then circle around and come back might be a little bit more efficient. I don't really know, because they would effectively just have to do one length of this, whereas at the moment this lane, this train, because this station is so long, is coming in. It's got to go all the way down to the bottom, and then when it's done or picked up what it needs to pick up, it needs to turn around and go all the way out. And it's that little extra distance that's slowing us down here. Whereas if we had it, say, be on a through line, it would come in and then go out the other end, and it would be about a third less of the distance that this one has to go. Overall, it's not that much, to be fair, so I don't think it really matters too much. Surprised that the crude oil deliveries aren't becoming an issue, which is quite nice to see that they're not. But I thought having them all deliver to this one stop would become a bit of an issue down the line. Why is this one... Why is it delivering? No, 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 no. That's wrong. Here it should just be loading. Here it should just be unloading. So we'll get rid of that. We've got some lines which have quite a lot of oil on them. I think these are the lines going across the way, aren't they? Yeah, all the way over to here. And then coming back. How are these doing? Okay, so they've got their half. We're just waiting for the other trucks to work their way through to get them more. I guess it's just favouring the train line here, which is a bit annoying. How about down here? No, this one's full. So yeah, it seems like it's just here that's the problem. And we've even got a truck coming back now to add themselves onto this queue, which is annoying because there's no queue over here. So maybe what I'll do is I'll turn these around and have them work their way through the system slowly. And then hopefully by the time they get back here there'll be a little bit more of a stockpile and they'll be able to pick up and go quite quickly. Who knows? You never know. I don't think they're going to move actually. Well, they're picking up slowly. It's just this isn't really shipping everything. I don't get why. I mean, we've got a lot on here. And this one train is working its way back. How much? Oh, that's been one big loss. Okay. Actually, that one's now filled up. So we want more trains on this line. I'll double it. I'll do the same for the other line because that one's looking like it's going the same way. I'll triple it. And yeah, I think this one's the problem here is that we've just got too many trains for the line. It's just unable to cope currently. Right, sorry about that. Where were we? So, these are still overloaded, but they should slowly, hopefully, start to make their way back to not overloaded as these work their way through. Hopefully, at least. We've got this massive train queue. So I don't know what I can do about that, unfortunately. What are these ones going to? Going up to the fuel here. Oh, Whizback. I found out the other day, Whizbeck's near where I live. I didn't actually realise that. I mean, I say near, I went past it. It's not actually that near to where I live, but it's just up the road, so to speak. Yeah, so there's just so many trains on this line. It's queuing back to here. Now, hopefully these are all full, right? Full, 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 not full. Okay. Okay. Not full. Not full. Full. Not full. So they're just working their way in. Because I don't know what else I could do. Maybe separate these out to 2 or 3 lines. So just have, say, a fuel line, an oil line, and a crude oil line. That might help. That might be what we have to do, actually. But for now, it's fine how it is. I mean, it's not fine. It's the world's longest queue, but hey ho. We'll just have to see how it goes. It's not queuing on this side, which is really weird. It's all just queuing the other side. Which, I don't know. I don't know why that would be. So what lines do we have used here? These ones. So I guess if we were to use 3 lines, it would be 1, 2, 3. And we'd have the 4th could be this crude oil line down here. But then again, we do need to maybe think about plastic. Because, I mean, the lines take oil to the plastic factories. In fact, does this even have trains on? No. Which is fine. We don't want trains on there just yet, because currently this isn't delivering anywhere. But what we could do is bring it back up to the hub, and then send it out to the factory that needs it. That could be something to do, but then it's going to be different carts on the trains, so I don't know how well that would work. If I'm honest, I don't know how well the different carts would work on these other trains. Well, I think I don't know what else we can do other than separate these out into separate lines, and really I think that will help, because you've got effectively the same amount of trains, but they can all come into 3 separate stops, theoretically at least. And what I might do is separate the crude oil line out as well, so it's on a separate line. In fact, if I separated all of these out, then, well, actually, it doesn't really matter. It can work with a 3-line in. So if I were going to do that, I'd have 3 lines coming out of these two, coming across, and then on this other side, they'd probably merge. In fact, we've got the 3 lines here. We could carry this down, have them split, and then have them merge down here with the other line. That could work quite well. I think what I'll do is that. So for now, I need to just build up how many rail lines are here. This needs to mirror the other line up to about there. We've got to do 3 of them. There we go. Bob's your uncle. So this will of course be the middle lane is the out lane, so to speak, which I might as well just do split off here or something, because all we need is, so if we do something like that, or like so, then this is going to be the lane coming back to go to the crude oil. Now these are the right way round. I'll just wait for these trains to work their way through. That might actually take quite a while for all these trains to work their way through. Why is it snapping there? Why is it not? There we go, snapping there. So what we effectively want to do is take this out, like so. So I'll push those back. And then we'll continue this line up to about here, where it will then merge, like so. And then this one needs to connect in here. And there we go. Now that's going to merge down here, further down the way. We just have to organize these. So that one will go to there. That one will go to there. In fact, that's not right. So this is the exit line, is it? No. Hang on, this should be right. Yeah, that's right. I confused myself. It's not that hard for me to do. Right, let's put this one in, like so, about there. So this middle line is going to be the exit, and these two other lines are going to be the entrances. Hopefully that line has already... No, it hasn't. Okay. Here it needs to... Oh, what? No. Here it needs to be number 4. There we go. Okay. Right. So how I want to separate these out is to have each line be a separate good. And in fact, this line we probably want to be crude oil because it's got so many. It'll be these two be oil and fuel. So if we separate these back down to fuel, hopefully they'll just deliver what goods they've already got. Although I don't actually know what will happen there. And we want number 3 to be crude oil, pick up and deliver. There we go. Crude oil, you pick up and you deliver. And then same thing for the other one, which would be what, track 9? Oh, what happened there? There we go. So we've done the fuel one. We need to do... Did we do fuel one? We did fuel on this one, right? Yeah, okay. So this one, we need you to be oil. Pick up, deliver. And then on the other side, you'll be connected up. You will pick up and deliver oil, like so. Cool. Okie dokie. So, I've called this one on Oils Hub, but I guess I can do Oils Hub Fuel Line, Oils Hub Oil Line, and Oils Hub Crude Oil Line. So I'll need to rename this. What I'll do is I'll turn it the color of the thing that it's picking up, which should be like so, I think. In fact, fuel is this color, isn't it? Yeah, I think so, yeah, cool. So what I'll need to do is probably reduce how many trains are on each line, maybe to 20 to each one. There we go. That one will go to crude oil. Color that the right color. In fact, that's the wrong one, isn't it? That's that one. This one's this color. And then we'll just duplicate those. Not enough money? Oh, wow. Okay. I reckon fuel won't actually do that many. I reckon crude oil will, because you've got so many connections of crude to the hub. So what I'll do is I'll split this one out to the oil line, that one. And then play, and it's going to break. This needs to connect in down here. We need stops. Like so. And then let's see how that does. I'm hoping that these ones will just make their way down here anyway and connect up. So what we're effectively doing is tripling the total hub cargo platform space that we're using, which should mean that they'll overflow less, or they'll be overloaded less, I should say. So let's just see whether that works or not. This one's the fuel line. It's not actually doing anything. I hope I haven't broken it. Maybe you go and then come back in? No? Okay. You go back to the other line, the other side even. And let's see whether we can get these so that they're right. Oh, that's already correct. Yeah, we want... No. No, it's not correct. We want this one to be crude oil. So once this one leaves... I don't know, maybe it'll be fine. It's just got to distribute out these different ones. So terminal 7, we actually want to be on number 10. And terminal 10, the fuel, we actually want to be on number 7. So we'll just flip those round, and that should be fine. Lines report the following problems. Cargo line to fuel. Oh, hang on, maybe I did the wrong one. Bugger. Okay. Yes, I did. I want crude oil line for the oils hub to go on number 9. And then let's put number 7 back on number 10. And then let's put the other number 9 oil line to number 7. That should be right now. Okay, cool. Because this was already rolling into the station, hopefully it'll just work. I think it's just got to pick up the crude oil and go. So yeah, we can see that this cargo is slowly moving across. These numbers should be moving. Actually, no, this one's fuel, so that one should be fine. It should be these two that are moving. Which seems to be the case. Yeah, it's going down slowly. It might just take 10 minutes for it to work its way across. So we'll have crude, oil, fuel, and oil. You can see that the crude oil and the oil are slightly different because crude oil is in the middle, the oil is on the left hand side for whatever reason, and the fuel is that bit different as well. It's got a yellow container around it or structure around it, and yeah, it's just all different pieces for different things. These yellow ones are fuel as well. The green and the blue are just the oil and crude oil cans. I'm hoping by splitting these out, these lines should make a lot more money because they'll effectively not be waiting in one massive jam or queue. They'll just be able to go. That confuses things a little bit. We've got the delivery and the crude oil right next to each other. They're both the same colour, so never mind. Oh, you're not full of fuel. Why are you not full of fuel? Well, you're not full of crude oil. Hopefully you will be. Wow, we have a lot of oil versus crude oil, but the crude oil should fill up. It's got to just work its way through. By separating these out, it should mean that there can be 3 trains pulling into the station and leaving at any one time that are connecting between the 2 hubs for the 3 resources that need to go between them. It's just a matter of how long it'll take for these to work their way through. Matter of fact, all the ones coming down from here should be able to go to the correct station now. It's just a matter of putting in the stops. As we know, putting in more stops should mean that the traffic just flows a little bit better. We don't have to do that many for this one over here because there's only one train going backwards and forwards on it. Or two trains even. Two trains going backwards and forwards on it. Wow, we really need some oil trains to come on through. Here's one. It'll probably change over once it's delivered these. There we go, things are starting to flow now. Just got to wait for each train to make its way through. It means that we have more capacity for waiting, for trains to wait, and should hopefully mean that we have more capacity for trains to make their way through. Right. They are slowly but surely working their way through. There's a big gap there. I reckon this is going to come up to about here, judging by the other line, maybe about here. Let's see, where does it get to? Oh, it was so close. It's about there. There we go. So now the trains can just keep flowing. It's going to take a while for these to work their way through because they still have, these are still on the wrong line. But once they've worked their way through, they should then effectively have 3 times the throughput here, which will hopefully do a better job than the previous solution had. It just means that actually maybe we'll have these be, I mean that's taking all the fuel they can and it's not full yet, so maybe we'll need less fuel trains. What I'm going to do is just going to tell that to go on its way. There's no fuel there for it to pick up, and it's holding up these trains, which I just want to work their way through. We have quite a lot of oil. Quite a lot more oil than I realised. I was kind of thinking it would be crude oil that would be the thing, because we've got how many crude oil lines here, but they all seem to be taking their crude oil elsewhere. So that's interesting. Maybe we need to change some of these trains over to the oil line, so the crude oil ones to the oil line. I don't know. Then again, it might just be the excess of what's being delivered from the old line, because this one, for example, oh, it's empty. That's a bad example. This one, for example, has two things being delivered, mostly crude, so that can deliver crude and then come on back. Slurping up some of that oil. That's good. How's the queue looking? It's quite long, but it's working its way through. So it's effectively going to be 3 times the queuing here. So we'll see how that does. In fact, I don't think I've put stops on this line in the middle here, which is a bit of a pain. Might need to eventually. Oh no, hang on, there's one. There's some. That's alright then. It's actually working quite well, because these aren't overflowing now, which is nice to see. It's saying it's overloaded, but it really isn't. So I don't know why that is. I guess it just has to work its way over to the correct line. Like these ones need to come over to the oil line. These crude oils need to go over to the crude oil line. These are all waiting for crude oil, so I'll turn those back. I'll be right back in a moment. Alright, how are these doing? This is waiting for fuel. Okay, that's nice. Go and do it somewhere else because we've got all these trains waiting at the moment. Hopefully these will eventually work their way through. It's just a matter of each one's waiting for what it needs to pick up. Alright, you're not going to be picking up any crude oil here, so you just turn around there. It's less time for you to have to turn around. Ah, or it would have been, unless another train was leaving at the same time. Never mind. Alright, I think you're going to be much the same, aren't you? You've got nothing to deliver. Can you just... No. You can't turn around there, but you can turn around further down. Hopefully... like here? Nope. I guess it's going to have to be here. There we go. Go, go, go. Go! No! Damn it. Okay, whatever. Just trying to work them through so that they don't have to wait, but it looks like they're going to be waiting. It's almost like this isn't getting enough oil. So if we put another train on this one, Hopefully it'll get enough oil because there's some there waiting. And then it should bring through some more fuel because this isn't really, well, either way it's not taking or bringing enough fuel back. And this is getting stuck as well. Have I just removed all these? Ah, I know that this had a few more. So I'll double it up and see how that does. Hopefully it won't fill up. What are you waiting for? Fuel. That's all well and good, but these guys are waiting to do other things, so it'd be really great if we could just move them across. Where this one has oil and fuel, hopefully it will deliver those and not just keep them in it. I think it should. So let's just watch, because it might not. In which case that'd be awkward, and I'll have a bunch of carts that have leftover produce from the original connection line. I won't know what to do with them. Right, it should be moving in now. Come on, please deliver your oil and fuel as well as your crude oil on the crude oil line, just because that's what you would have had when you were on the other line. I don't know whether it's going to, you know. Ah, no, it is good. Cool. So now it'll just take crude oil. That's positive. That's a good thing. There we go. It's on its way back. So, I'm quite confident this will eventually work its way through. This is all fuel lines now. From back here. Yep, fuel, fuel, fuel. Oh, no, that one's not, but anyway. So the crude oil line is off on its own. It's just waiting to actually, if we put a stop here, then that should allow that to move up a bit further. I'm not too sure why that's on that line, but anyway. We've just got to bunch these up and make sure that they're utilizing all the space. It's difficult because these need to pick up as well as deliver, and here they're going to be spending a little while waiting to pick up what they need, unless it seems like oil. Oil seems to have plentiful supply, so yeah. It looks like we're down to our last crude oil on this other line. It's this one, I think. So once that goes, and that one's down to 2, once that goes, this one will be at 65. It will just be all fuel, which will be good. Hey, it's taken off the oil. Looks like we've got so much oil. We need more trains on here, but what I might do, in fact, is reduce how many are on crude oil, because there's 20 on here. So if we take off 5 and put them onto the oil line, there we go. Oh, look at that! They're all the right ones now. Oh, actually no, fuel line just doesn't have any fuel. It needs to remove that one crude oil for whatever reason. It's not moving. So, fine. Just going to double that up because currently these are taking about 60 or 55%. So if we double up, that should put it up to 100% transportation. How are these doing? That's bringing all of the fuel. Oh, hang on. Are they going around the wrong way? Yeah, they're going through the wrong bit. Okay. Right. In that case. It looks like they're taking the right one here. It's just the other one that they're not taking. Okay. There we go. That should mean that everything uses the pass-through now. Apart from this one that's not paid any attention yet, probably because it's still working its way through. So that's fine. It's a bit weird here how we have the road to nowhere. So what I'll do is I'll do a road underneath here, I think. Something like that. And then it connects up down there. And just to make it nice and neat, let's change that to one of them. There we go. There we go, nice. Okay. How's it coming along? Looks like we need to put some stops here. There we go. That should allow some more movement. I'll do the same along here. And maybe even the same here. So then that should allow more trains to pass through. So where are these ones waiting for? Up here. Aha. Okay. I see the problem. Where does the train go up to here? I have no way of knowing because it's in a tunnel. So we'll just do something like that. I hope for the best. And then these should work their way through because we've got quite a few trains on this now. That it just needs a bit more of a waiting area. How about these? You're taking one fuel? One fuel? That's not very good. This one might be a bit too close. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, why? You should have taken a full load of... whatever. Go back. Autosave, oh, autosave. Why do you do this to me? This one's going to be a bit of a problem. All they have to do is bring all the crude oil along with them. Hang on a second, I noticed what's wrong here. This needs to be a non-stop because even though we do have the cars or the trucks surplusing it, it's not enough. Because for whatever reason, these just... This isn't really delivering everything that it needs to here. Not too sure why. It's just slowly filling up. And this needs, well, more. There we go. Now that should run fluidly and hopefully not have any problems. So this one that doesn't need to wait, it can just, or needs to wait, I should say. Why is it not processing these? Oh, it is a little bit. Just slowly. Very slowly. Okay, well, they can process slowly, and these trains shouldn't take too long, because They've got there's two trains. They don't even need all these stops for the waiting, so it's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. Wow, that one's leaving with nothing. That's not good. Meanwhile, this has so much oil, but it's just not delivering it. Why is it not? Oh, it is delivering it. Okay. How much do you have? 100. And it looks like there's plenty to take as well. That's good. Okay, we'll put another train on that line. And we'll see how that goes. It's quite strange because, I mean, these are just literally picking up oil from here and taking it across the map and dropping it off here. And then picking up more oil and taking it back here. So logic would say, why don't you just leave the oil here and not take it all the way? But the way the game works is these various ones need to deliver to all the consumers in the game. Actually, looks like we've almost got all of them. It doesn't deliver to this one, interestingly, even though it should be able to. It's not delivered any fuel there yet. In fact, nothing's delivered any fuel oil here yet. Why is that? Please don't tell me I've had this set up the wrong way. All this. Ah, I have. That's really annoying. Okay. Okay. That's on me. I didn't have that set up correctly. And that line's just not been making any money because of it. That's annoying. Never mind. Can't really do much about that now. I'm hoping that there's no other lines that I've missed that and secretly regretting it. I don't think there are, though. Wow. This crude oil line is just so busy. Well, we have these working their way through. So it was quite a good thing actually that I checked that because it should have delivered fuel to, oh, I think it's already started to deliver fuel there. Um, this one here, what was this? The Voivoskin one. Obviously, once it's gotten a delivery of oil, then it will start producing fuel for the rest of the map. Wait a second. Right, okay, you're still getting there. That's fine. Okay, cool. What I think is, I think I might leave it here. That's a nice little screenshot there for a thumbnail, I think. I think I'll leave it here and we'll come back to it at another point. We've almost finished all the oil. There's like 1 or 2 more oil refineries that we need to set up, but getting the connections between both hubs set up has been a bit tricky. But going forward, I know having one for each resource that's going backwards and forwards is probably the best way to do it. So yeah, if you've been enjoying this episode and enjoy this, Moratania, and you want to see more of it, then please subscribe. No pressure, but it does mean that when the next videos come up, then you'll be aware of them. Other than that, please let me know what you've thought with your thumbs, and other than that, have a great day. Cheers.